Oh, God.
We're in it to win it, guys.
I was saying ungodly things before.
Okay.
All right, Tom, start us off.
Hello and welcome to the UnPopular PodCast. This is episode 6 on December... Let's see, it's December 15th. I should have known that, but I didn't. Okay.
Tom, did you say Padcast?
Padcast?
Podcast guy.
Padcast?
It's like Fallout 4 already.
Oh, God. All right, dudes. From this corner, we got Thomas and my co-hosts.
Dude. Mike, dude.
Chris guy.
Corey Han.
Oh, God. You guys are fucking wicked pisser.
Oh, man. We're from Boston and our accents suck. What's up?
I am from Cambridge.
Oh.
I'm from Brighton. That's not exactly South Boston. It's close enough, though.
Bada bing.
Bada bing, bada boom. That's New York. Get it right. So, Fallout 4 has not officially been announced, but has pretty much officially been deemed in Boston.
I'm very excited about it because I love Fallout.
How come Bethesda hasn't gotten behind this yet? Like, they haven't addressed this at all?
They're probably waiting for an official reveal.
If it was official, wouldn't they say something yet?
Oh.
I mean,
I don't know.
they probably kind of just want to string us along.
Yeah.
They're probably a little pissed that someone figured out the great big mystery where the next game is. And they don't have anything else to reveal yet. I mean, Fallout 4 is not coming out for a pretty long time, right?
It needs to be revealed first.
Yeah. Next one coming up from Bethesda, I think is. Oh, I know. Are they publishing Elder Scrolls? Is that online?
No, that's a different studio.
I thought so. Okay.
Is anyone going to play that?
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
MMOs.
I'm going to stick with Final Fantasy 14.
Ooh.
Well, you chose the right horse in that race.
There's a new WoW killer coming out called, like, Wildstar. And, like,
Yeah, I've heard about that.
It's like a reskin version of WoW. For anyone.
Terra already came out, Mike.
Oh, what?
Terra was just WoW with tits, wasn't it? It just had more
Yeah.
like skimpy outfits.
It won me over already.
What did we play? Some random NC soft game, whatever. Grand Fantasia?
Ion?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I was like Kawaii Desu when I was running around with like pigtails and like a mage or something.
Hoping everyone would notice you.
Senpai never noticed me.
Hey, GURL, ASL.
Hey,
14F
BB.
Cali won a cyber.
Oh, God.
BB.
It's funny because it was like 2 years ago and people still asked ASL and MMO. That was so 1999, guys.
BR?
You need to
BR?
know their age.
What the hell is that noise?
Oh, that's my water. Sorry.
Alright.
I was thirsty. I was a wee bit parched.
A wee bit.
Just a wee bit.
Like a wee bit parched.
Alright, guys. Do you want to start off with the top 10 list?
Sure.
Top 10 list from last time.
Yeah, with top 10 favorite games.
So are we just going to list them off, or would you like a short description of why we love them?
Oh, yeah, we'll just we'll go down the list and you kind of say why you like it and how it's an amazing, awesome, fantastical game.
Okay.
Alright, do you want to go first, Chris?
Sure.
Okay.
So, they're actually kind of hard to come up with 10. They're not in any particular order, so I'm just going to read them off. First one, Skies of Arcadia on Dreamcast. I really like the exploration. The battle's actually interesting where all 6 characters have access to the same elemental ability, so it kind of adds another layer to the combat. And one of the really cool things is on the world map, the music actually changes depending on what area you're in, which doesn't really sound all exciting, but it kind of lends to the sense of adventure of, all right, I am flying through the clouds and just going to a separate corner of this planet that's never been explored before. So I really like it. Second on that is, Tom's going to hate me for this one, Xenogears.
I don't hate Xenogears. Xenogears is a fun game.
Oh, okay. I thought you hated Xenogears.
No, I think it falls apart at the second disc, but it's a fun game.
Oh, yeah, it does. It does absolutely fall apart at the second disc and just becomes a glorified Flash movie with a couple battles in there. The story, I think, is fantastic because you think it's going to top out, and they just keep on adding more layers and more layers and more layers. The combat's actually pretty, not fast, but it's a lot more interesting than your standard turn-based or timed battle. And it's got really good music. I forget exactly who does that. They re-released like an orchestral version with a couple tracks. So that's pretty good. Okay, next. Final Fantasy IX.
That's a good choice.
I like how they kind of got the nice combination of current Final Fantasy, but then going back to the roots.
Whatever.
Lol. And I actually love that they added a fourth character to battle, because for whatever reason I find 3 people just really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, all of them had 4 except 7 and 8.
And 10.
Well, I'm not going future.
And 12.
Previous.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, 12 had 4.
12 had 3. No, 12 had 3, and sometimes you'd have a guest.
Oh, okay. I just played that game too. It's weird. I don't remember that.
Next, kind of an obvious choice, but it was very enjoyable. That's Ocarina of Time.
Of course.
That one's kind of self-explanatory. It was the first 3D Zelda.
No, it's a better Zelda game?
What?
All of them.
Actually, I'm almost done with Link Between Worlds. That game is very fun.
Oh, that game's fantastic.
Next is Fallout 3. It was actually the first Fallout I ever played.
3 dog. Ow!
It's a terrible game if you have ADD, because you're going to your next destination. It's like, oh, hey, another cave. Oh, hey, another band of bandits. Oh, hey, some more ruins. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Yeah, I enjoy those open world Bethesda games, even though they are sometimes inherently broken with all the glitches, but...
I never had that many glitches. I had a few random crashes, but I never had anything really
neither have I. I never had like a completely game-breaking glitch. Just some a raider would just start floating up into the sky, which was kind of hilarious.
I had a New Vegas. You know the guy that survived the lottery?
Yeah.
And he ran out of the town and he flew away. And my guy was like...
I shot him in the face and his brain just kind of hovered there.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Next one. This is kind of cheating, but I didn't want to put all 3 different games, so I just put the entire Mass Effect series.
Okay.
Oh, we can do that?
Well, I don't. Like I said, it's kind of cheating.
It's a straight
It's
story.
all one arc, so yeah.
Yeah.
I could probably talk about Mass Effect for an entire podcast, but I won't, because I won't bore people. But the amount of choice in that game and the voice acting from Jennifer Hale, if you play FemShep, is just absolutely amazing if you go Renegade.
I've only played the first one.
I've gotten to the part where you meet Talia, and that's it. Or Tali, whatever her name is.
It was KOTOR without the lightsabers, and I just wasn't digging it.
Ferrari froze.
Oh no, this is his list.
I think that was the end, wasn't it?
No, that was number 4, I think. Number 4 or 5. He's probably going to switch to his tablet. We'll get back to him in a minute.
Yeah.
Anybody want to continue? Or
I'll do mine.
Or should we wish? We'll give him a minute to come back. Because
he's in the middle of the list.
Yeah, and I don't want him to miss hours, and so he can commentate and such.
In the meantime, we're live. Should we talk about something?
Oh, okay. How do you guys feel about cloud saving?
I feel like I don't see it physically, so I'm kind of nervous if something gets deleted or anything.
All right, I'm here. Sorry.
Did you switch the tablet? I was just going to wait for you.
Yeah.
Thank God, I had no opinion.
I don't know why. All right, you see me and hear me all right?
Yeah. You're a little low, but I mean, whatever.
Get low.
Oh my.
Okay,
next one. I don't think a lot of people have heard of this one. Maybe they have. Dark Cloud 2.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
PS2.
I remember the clown bitch slapping the mayor. That's my favorite cutscene.
There was.
That's the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah. Really cool. You can kind of terraform some areas and build your own towns and move your townspeople in, and the crafting system's really cool. You have to take pictures of the environment in order to craft your weapons. If that makes any sense.
Of course.
So, if you want to make a new
bladed weapon, you have to take a picture of a pipe for the shaft and something sharp for the blade. So it kind of goes on like that. It's fun.
Why is the camera randomly jumping?
Because he's on a tablet. It's a podcast. Don't worry about the camera.
Next one, Front Mission 3.
Oh man, that is a random entry in this series.
It is, but that was one of my favorite RTS games, just because you can completely customize it with the mechs. It's got a really, really branching storyline.
If you're possible, could you move the tablet closer to the microphone closer to you? You're just kind of far away.
How's that, better?
That's better.
Okay. So yeah, the storyline really branches out a lot. It's kind of arbitrary. Like there's two main storylines, and at the beginning of the game, it depends on whether you go to the mall or not with the characters, how you kick off the storylines.
And it changes the whole game.
It does. It's completely different. You're like in completely different factions for the rest of the game. And when it came out, people were like, "Well, how the hell are we supposed to switch?" But I very much enjoyed that. I like that better than 4.
Oh yeah, 4 was.
I like the storyline in 3 a lot better.
1 and 2 are really good if you ever play them. I think they brought over to the DS in the US.
You can. I just have not been. I've not gotten around to playing them. All right, next one, Shadow Hearts Covenant.
Oh, that's the one I didn't play.
Which is the second entry in Shadow Hearts series.
Oh no, I did play that one. I didn't play From the New World or whatever it's called.
That's the third one.
Yeah, I didn't play that one.
The game is really weird. Like you'll have a gay wrestler who turns into a vampire.
Oh man, that character. That character ruined the game for me.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. The battle system's really fun. It's kind of like the only way I can describe it is like a clock hand, and you have to stop it at certain points that will boost your attack. But you can also do it at shops. So it's kind of got a risk reward where you can use the same system at shops, and if you stop at the right point, you'll get discounts. But if you don't, you'll have to pay way more. Like a fantastical World War II type setting. Never actually finished it, but it was really good.
Have you played Legend of Dragoon?
I have not finished it. And you know what? After I moved, I think I'm missing one of the discs, and I'm very upset.
Oh, it's cheap to find anyway, but it has a similar time-based battle system.
Yeah, I know. Volcano! Spinning Queen.
Okay, what's next?
All right. Last one, I cheated again. Both Lunar games.
Oh, God.
Lunar 1 is way better than 2, though.
It is. Lunar Silver Star Story and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. They really harken back to like old school RPGs, just travel around the map, no crazy battle mechanics, no crazy story twists. It's just a fun...
There's a giant story twist. What are you talking about?
Does it? Oh, right. Holy shit. With Galleon and such. All right, it's been a while. That game is the reason I'm upset that Working Designs no longer exists.
Working Designs didn't make that game. Games Arts did.
They published it, though.
Oh, yeah. They did fantastic releases, too.
Oh, God, yeah. Dragon Force, that, Arc the Lad.
Just like their presentation. They went all out when they released the game.
Especially, even with the packaging.
Exactly. They were just very elaborate.
Yeah. And, yeah, that's my list of 10.
Okay.
Ooh.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Ooh.
Ooh. What was it? Number 10, Rocket Knight Adventures for Sega Genesis.
Fantastic game.
I thought we were only picking RPGs.
No.
Oh, whoops. Oh, well.
Growing up, I didn't have a Nintendo, so I only had Sega Genesis, so that was the first game that made me, interested. Because you can only play Sonic so many times, and that was like one of the first games I rented, was Rocket Knight. It's still one of my favorites.
Did you ever play the sequel, the Sparkster?
I don't acknowledge any sequels exist.
No, the Sparkster for the Genesis is just like Rocket Knight. It's very good. And there's one for Super Nintendo is a lot different, but it's still a good game.
I thought you were talking about the PS2 version that came out.
Oh, the PS3 version that came out like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a game.
Number 9, Final Fantasy VIII.
Nice.
I was a big fan of 7, but 8 was the first game where I was familiar with the series, and I completely decimated it. Like, I did every side quest. I got every weapon. I did everything that's humanly possible in that game. I played the card game tournament to completion.
But did you level your character past level 30?
I was level 89 when I beat the game.
Then you played it wrong.
I was a plebe. I didn't have the internet. I didn't know these things. Number, what am I, 8? 8, Heavy Rain, because I like that game. Heavy Rain. I like the choices you have. It was, once you look at it, it's kind of linear, but there's a bunch of different stuff that affects the final outcome of the game.
My name's Mike Hona, and I'm investigating the list of top 10 games.
My name is Norman Jaden. I'm investigating the Origami Killer.
Didn't you cosplay as one of the people from...
Yeah, I cosplayed as Scott Shelby.
Did a really good job, too.
He's a fat asthmatic, just like me.
Matt didn't actually drown when he was a kid, did he?
I don't know. He might have. Number 7. What is number 7? Pokemon Blue. That was like my first entry of the game. That's my favorite Pokemon game so far.
And I was like, no way I'm getting a Pinsir. I'm all about Scyther. Or is that the other way around?
Although, like, for me, when I played the game the first time, I did it wrong. I just relied on my Squirtle. It was, like,
That's not a bad strategy. You did pretty good with that.
His name was Radical. He was level 100 Blastoise, and he came with me everywhere.
He's my best friend.
He's my best friend, man.
Just a boy with a Squirtle.
Number 6. I'm on 6 there. 6, Chrono Cross.
Nice.
Oh man, fantastic game.
I love Chrono Cross. Like, I just like there's 60 million different characters you can recruit and stuff like that. And, like,
yeah, it's like 40 or something.
I was looking at the strategy guide, and it's like all these different random side quests. You get this one guy to come with you. Then you end up using like 2 people. Like,
I used the clown girl and Glenn. I remember using them.
Like, I beat there's a boss in the game you're not supposed to beat till New Game Plus, and I just grinded away until I was high enough level to beat him. And
no, you didn't. There were no levels in that game.
Well, you know, stars. I grinded enough stars to beat him. Okay. It was like Dario on the island of something or other.
Oh god, I
The final
remember.
boss was the most convoluted battle. It was awful.
And then the final cutscene was a Japanese girl walking down train tracks.
Oh, yeah.
I was expecting something interesting during the final credits. Number 5. Metal Gear Solid 3.
Nice.
Awesome.
I like 3 because the bosses were awesome.
What a thrill.
Some
The
deja
soundtrack was awesome too. Dude, I like the bad guys in that game. They're all, like the Fear, freaking Spider-Man.
pain.
The pain. You got like bees.
Does everyone remember when Revolver Ocelot did that really weird thing? Yeah, that. Why did he do that?
He's saucy.
That's the sound of an ocelot.
Yeah. That sniper battle was amazing.
Oh,
He
yeah,
created a time paradox.
Game and come back like a month later, and the guy would have died from old age.
Yeah, that was great. The small details he puts in his games are fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, oh man, 5.
Yeah, man.
5. I know it's stupid. It's an MMO, but Maple Story. I keep on. It's stupid. It's like a Korean pay-to-win MMO, but I keep on going back to it. I uninstall it. I keep on going back to it.
Have you paid to win?
No. Well, yes. I played with Mark the last time, our other friend, and we all got to level 200, which is was the level cap at the moment, and I felt so ashamed of myself. Number 4, Battlefield 3. I dabbled with Battlefield 2, so I didn't have much experience. But 3, I don't know. You get so used to Call of Duty and just running around simple hallways. Now you're flying around in jets and, kamikaze into enemy teams, and riding around these huge
Let's not get
maps.
racy.
Oh man. I have to honor glorious Nippon. Number 3 will be Final Fantasy 6 or Final Fantasy 3.
Good choice.
Because I went and beat all the Final Fantasy games. Like I beat 10, got halfway through 12 and stuff like that, and 7. And then I had a copy of Anthology, and I'm like, oh, might as well give this a try. And that game is awesome. Like, halfway through the game, like, the world explodes, and, like, all the progress, all your team members you gathered, they're gone. They're like, you have to get them again. Number 2? Number 2 is a tough one. I'm probably going to be a plebe when I say, like, I'm trying to think of what my number 3 would be.
You didn't write a list?
No, I did. Number 2 is Rystar.
Oh.
Rystar, man. There's a simple mechanic of, like, grabbing onto your enemies and, like, headbutting them, basically. And it gave, like, a little, made the boss fights kind of interesting, because you're like, oh, where can I grab onto this guy? Where can I grab onto this guy?
Are you playing with poker chips or something? What is that?
Oh, no, watch, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And number 1 is the first Metal Gear Solid for a PlayStation. Metal Gear. And I wasn't familiar. I never heard of the series before because I didn't have a Nintendo. So when it came out,
don't say Nintendo when you talk about the origin of the series.
Oh well, Famicom, Super Famicom, whatever.
No. It's MSX. You play the NES version, you're playing the wrong game. It's completely different. Not completely, but it's not good.
It was like voice acting, and like the guards can find your footsteps, and
whose footprints are these?
Like the bosses all had like interesting backstories and like cool dialogue before you fought them and stuff. That's pretty bitchy. That's my list.
Nice.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Meryl.
All right. I'll let Corey get himself set up.
That sucked.
Yeah. Are you good to give your list, or you want me to go first?
I have my list ready, but you can go first.
It's up to you.
You saying my list sucked?
No, your list was good. I enjoyed it.
I imagine it was great, but I was kicked out for some. I actually accidentally hit the X button. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Is that the 2 you missed were Rystar and Metal Gear Solid 1 as his number 1?
That's a good number 1.
I agree. Okay, I'll do mine. I'll start from 10 and go up.
Colt Single Action Army. 6 bullets. More than enough to stop anything that moves.
Oh, man. My number 10 is Doom 2 for the PC. If you have never played Doom, then you have not used any device that ever existed, because it's on everything.
It's on my toaster.
Pretty much. The game obviously revolutionized the whole FPS genre. It was a game impossible to beat when you're 5 years old without codes, but I managed to do it somehow. I had very bad parents. Actually, the first time I played Doom 2 is my brother beat me up or something. I don't remember, but my dad felt bad and he said, "Hey, why don't you play this computer game?" I was like, "All right," and yeah, the game was fantastic. Okay. I don't know what that interference is. I'll let it settle.
It's like your brother beats you off. Play a violent video game. Go ahead.
Hey man, I shot zombies. I shot imps. It was a grand old time. I actually did beat that game, which I'm proud of, because not many people have actually beat it legitimately.
Yeah, those were hard games.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic game. And my number 9, Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo.
Nice.
It took the original Metroid. It was pretty much a Link to the Past of Metroid. It took the original game that was kind of flawed, but it was the original idea, and they made it all the better. They took everything they missed, and all right, let's make this 40 times better. And they did a fantastic job with it. The whole game is a wonder to play through. I also liked Fusion a lot. I was going to put Fusion on the list, but Super Metroid's a better game, I think. But they're both really good. Now, number 8 is Tomba for the PS1.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys ever played Tomba. It was a very obscure game. It didn't get a lot of
I
attention.
remember Tomba.
I played it.
Was it
Yeah.
a launch title or something? Or-
No, it came out 98, 99. It came out later
Oh.
in the year.
The
Later in
demo
the
was
generation.
on one of those preset discs that PlayStation 1 had.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It was a Sony published game. It was developed by Whoopee Camp, but it made just the sequel, which is not anywhere near as good. But the original was fantastic. Basic 2D. I don't want to call it a Metroid style game because it wasn't as much back and forth, but it was a very open. It wasn't even open, I don't think, but
It was a
I don't know.
side scroller, right?
it was a side scroller. It was a very beautifully animated 2D art style side scroller. Though you can upgrade your weapons, you get items, you solve little puzzles. You have central areas you come back to later, and you solve the rest of it. It's fantastic. My number 7 is Earthbound for the Super Nintendo, also known as Mother 2. Very quirky, humorous RPG, not serious in the slightest until, I don't know, the second half where it gets kind of very serious, but it's still all around the great game.
You still have a character named Pooh.
Oh yes, Pooh. You fight New Age retro hippies and all that craziness. Absent Dad, who gives you tons of money for beating people on the street, which I support 100%.
A cracked baseball bat.
Smash. That final boss was horrifying and
Spoilers.
amazing. I'm not going to say what happens, but it is
That game.
it is very not for kids, I'd say, but grand game all around. Mother 3, I don't know if you ever played that, but it wasn't the same. And Mother 1 was a lot of it's the whole Super Nintendo thing where they took the original game from the Nintendo and made it a lot better. Also applies to Mother 2. Mother 1 has the same idea, concept, but Mother 2 just took it all away. And number 6, Lumines for the PSP.
What? It's not Digimon World for PlayStation?
I remember that.
Everybody remembers Lumines. Game's fantastic. It's a very, 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 very simple game. You get a square 2x2, match the colors to a 2x2 grid, make combos, keep it going, has music playing. Soundtrack is phenomenal. Nothing else to say about it, but they keep making sequels. They're all the same. Different music sometimes, but yeah, the original is still the best. 2, avoid it like the plague it has, Black Eyed Peas. Not acceptable.
Black Eyed Peas edition.
It was awful. Number 5, Yoshi's Island for the Super Nintendo. My favorite Mario game. People say it's not a Mario game, but Mario's in it. He's totally in that game. Very simple, adorable side scroller. It has the egg throwing mechanic where it adds a little to the challenge. All the enemies kind of have a gimmick where you gotta throw eggs at angles in some such way. Fantastic music. Fantastic everything. That game is 10 out of 10. Fantastic.
Dan had a Dan.
You're not a dead.
10 out of 10.
Got my cola, got my popcorn.
So my number 4, screw your guys and your lesser Final Fantasies, because Final Fantasy 12 is definitely the best game that ever came out of the Final Fantasy series.
Regular or international?
Either or, international made it better, but both games are
I don't know,
phenomenal.
Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy 10 is... I don't get why people pick that scene, because that scene was intended to be terrible, and he did a fantastic job of making it awful. It served its purpose perfectly fine. That game is awful, but that scene was appropriate for what it was.
Rides the shoe puff?
I'm the fucking universe! Anyway. Final Fantasy 12, very open.
I am
game.
Boss von Rosenberg of Damascus.
Exactly. I'm General Bosch. Oh, man.
The Buckethead.
Inspire the citizens.
The story is very lackluster, but I mean, if you're playing a JRPG for the story, you're just watching too much anime anyway. They're never very good. If they're very good, they're just it's an RPG story. It's not the best. But 12 had a fantastic battle system. It was very reminiscent of KOTOR. It had party members, which you can either manually command or you can just kind of program to do what you want them to do to save you time and then not 30% or less use a potion on this person. 80% or more on your MP use this attack. It was very mainstreamed. or not mainstream, streamlined. So mainstream, flip. But that game gets a lot of hate for not being an awful turn-based nonsense game like the other ones are, like 10 and 13, which were fucking awful. It did everything right, and since everybody complained about it being an awesome game, they made crappy ones, and you got Chris Ferrari's poster back there.
How do you make 3 sequels from that game?
I don't know.
What happened to Final Fantasy 12 too?
They have the remnants.
Red Wings.
Yeah, Remnant Wings for the DS, which was an okay game, but it's not 12. But 12 had all the side quests you can do. It was pretty much Monster Hunter if you wanted to be. That one boss that had, 9 billion health. It took several times to go back at it. Keep going back and forth, destroy the damn thing. The job system, if you play the Zodiac job, you make a character a strict job, so you're either a samurai or you're a mage or whatever. So you're
That's the whole reason I want to replay it.
Yeah, it makes it a lot better. And it took the nonsense grid system of 10 and made it to a logical form where it's not just I have to manually level instead of automatically leveling. It just takes time out of my day because, I mean, it is very linear in 10, but 12, it's an open map. You can do what you need to do. Go in the stream, the whole area you want to go in. If you want to be a, heavy hitter, go this way and such. Fantastic.
Big game too, if I remember. Like the open world areas were huge.
The whole game was an open world browse and explore quest. It wasn't linear at all like 10 was. 10 was legitimate a path you followed and it had an arrow telling you where to go. 12 was the opposite. It was just open world. Go do what you want to do. It's very linear in its own story way, but you were very free to roam and such.
I remember Fran because she was a bunny girl.
Fran's my waifu. KKKKK. My number 3, Legend of Mana.
Ooh.
Beautiful game. It is pretty much the precursor of Kingdom Hearts. It was very beautiful art style. It was kind of like Dark Cloud 2, where you kind of make your own areas. You get pieces in certain places. You do quests, and you get, I don't know, a Lego block. You put the Lego block down on the map you make, it opens up a new area. You do another quest, you get a different, and open a new area. Not many people have played this game, so I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. But
It's PS1?
PS1 game, yes. It's $6 on the PSN. Fantastic game. It played like Secret of Mana, if you're familiar with Secret of Mana, with the battle system, but your character is you make them up. You can pick a boy or girl, and you kind of pick whatever weapon you want, and you go with it. You can get teammates to go do little missions and stuff. It's a really good game. My number 2, this is no particular order, by the way. It's jumbled, but my number 2 on the list is Suikoden 2.
I need to play that.
It is a phenomenal game. I don't know why it's
Is
on
it the rare
PSN.
one?
That is the rare one, yes.
Oh.
I don't know why.
$700 if you want it sealed.
$700.
Really? That much?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know that Digimon World is like $125?
That's not much.
That's a
not
great
much.
game.
I have Digimon World 3, I think. Whatever the last PS1 was.
So
But
Tom,
yeah.
why should I play Suikoden 2?
Suikoden 2 has, of all JRPG stories, I find it the best. It actually has a very good story. I don't know if you're familiar with the Suikoden series, but it's pretty much a take on an old Chinese novel called, Suikoden if you go in the Japanese, but it's Bandits of the Marsh or the Water Margin. Fantastic book, too. 4-part book series. Great book. Anyway, pretty much you play through the RPG. You can recruit characters. Some of them are obviously automatic, but it has 108 you're supposed to get. Some of them do meaningless things that just hang around your castle, but you need them to get the good ending. But some of them are really good mages or really good fighters and such. You add them to your party, do what you want with them. You get a castle, you upgrade it as long as you keep getting people. The more stuff you do, the more things you can get. It has a pretty cool trading system if you need money. Because you have so many characters, you have to level up all their items and such. It has a very good magic system where it's kind of like the old Final Fantasy where you have so many uses until you have to rest. So the number 1 skill is 1 use, and your number 2, so you have 2, etc. But you have 6 people in your party, so you kind of manage it properly. And it has unite attacks too, so it's kind of like Chrono Trigger in that regard. But certain characters go together and they do, special abilities and such. Not sure what else to say about it specifically, but Fantastic game, fantastic story, good setting, beautiful
Is that
game.
available digitally at all? Like to PSN?
I don't know why it isn't. I don't know why. They released a code in 1. Like, it was one of the first games to release in the PS3 and PSN releases. I have the first one, the PSN. But 2 they just never did.
'Cause I really want to play that game, but I also don't really want to pay like $150 to find a copy that barely works on eBay.
I agree.
That's what they did with Marvel, right? Marvel was up there, then they released a digital edition. The price went down, didn't it?
Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
Yeah.
That happened. They released it a bunch of times. It came out for the Dreamcast, which was not that rare. It was a mediocrely rare game. The PS2 and the Xbox version were rare because they were a very limited print because it was a reprint of a game. And they since obviously released it on the PSN and such. I don't know if it ever was really that badly priced. I know on the while, like when this guy that came out, and that was rare. They were both like the $80 such games, but they're never that awful to find.
Yeah, I remember seeing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for PS2 at a GameStop for like $80.
Yeah, GameStop did that. Whatever. My number 1 game, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I don't know if you're familiar with Link to the Past. You should be. It's pretty much Ocarina of Time, but good. Oh yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, but yeah.
You went there.
Ocarina of Time is a rehash of Link to the Past, but in 3D. Anyway, like my trend has been going, it was a sequel to an original Nintendo game that took the original Nintendo game and took everything it did, but made it way better. It has an actual town now. You actually kind of have a sense of purpose instead of just wandering on a big map. All the levels are way better. All the tools are great. I don't know, used the SNES to the full potential. Like the Dark World first boss was incredible to play when you first played that game. Because
I never played it. I need to get like a ROM or something of it.
Oh man, I think I let your brother borrow it for Super Nintendo because he took a bunch of my SNES games. But yeah, everything about the game is
I
phenomenal.
wish I had a Super Nintendo.
Oh man, did I send you that picture of the one I found at the thrift store that was piss yellow?
No.
It was $4. I couldn't find myself to buy it. I just couldn't do it. But my God, that was fantastic.
You like scrape it to get the natural light underneath.
Oh, it doesn't come back. It was not worth touching. God. The only time I've ever seen a Super Nintendo at the thrift store is piss yellow. Go figure. What else to say about Link to the Past? It has a sequel that came out that's very reminiscent of that game. It's pretty much a big fan service to it.
Great game.
Have you played the original Link to the Past, Ferrari?
I have not yet. I played like an hour of it. But that
Oh my
was
God.
really bad.
That was like the first Super Nintendo game I had. It was phenomenal.
I think I might have to play that after finishing A Link Between Worlds.
Oh man, going back, you play it in the wrong order.
Is Link Between Worlds comparable to A Link to the Past?
It's pretty much fan service. They took the game, said this game is fantastic. Let's try to do it again, but differently. So they changed the dungeons and such. But the whole game is the same vibe.
I think I might be getting that for Christmas, or I might buy it
I
before.
have really good puzzles in them. Really fun.
Corey, have you played Link to the Past?
No, I don't think I have.
I am amazed. I am the only person here that has played Link to the Past to completion.
I have a lot of friends who have played Link to the Past, and they would put it as their second favorite Zelda.
Of course, behind Ocarina of Time, right?
One friend actually puts Majora's Mask ahead of that.
Oh, okay. Majora's Mask is really good.
I put Oracle of Seasons above Majora's Mask.
That was also a really good game. I don't know what else to say about Link to the Past other than it being a fantastic game that everybody should play.
A great game from what I've heard. We should all play it. That should be the homework assignment for next
You
time.
guys did watch my speed run on Thanksgiving? Because I totally told you guys about it. You should have watched it.
You never told me about it.
It was on my Facebook, but you don't do that.
I don't have a Facebook. I'm sorry.
You're in the right. Facebook's an awful thing. If you want to start yours, Corey, you can go ahead. After
All right.
Mike stops typing his novel over there.
I will start my
Yeah.
list then.
You guys don't really
Well, let's go on.
really
10
noise.
years ago.
All right. I have no particular order. They're all pretty much about as good to me. I don't really want to rate them, except the last two, which are my absolute favorite games. So I'll save the best for last. I'll start off with one of my favorite series, and maybe my favorite from it, because I didn't think we could just name the entire series, and that's Total War Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai. Now, that's the second Shogun Total War, and the expansion pack for it, Fall of the Samurai, which cost extra money, of course. And that takes place during the Boshin Wars. I like to refer to it as that movie, The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, because that's basically what happens. You get to play as Japan during the rise of Western influence and Western technologies coming into an influx, and you have basic border wars with different shoguns in the area. You're trying to take over their lands, and eventually, when you get big enough, realm divide happens, and everyone who supports the emperor go to one side, and everyone who supports the shogunate go to another side. And you have a big civil war, and it's huge, massive battles. And I've never managed to win one of the games because I play on hard, and right around realm divide, I get invaded by 6 or 7 different nations with massive armies of technology I have not even researched yet. But it's fun. It's fun because it introduced an RPG-style system to the series where your generals level up and you get to pick down different skill trees, so they could be better at night battles, or they could be better at taking fortifications, they can increase morale, or they can have cute little cards on the side that say, like, ugly wife, and that's a minus for some reason in battle. I'm still not sure why. It's a weird Japanese thing. They're very strange people.
It's like you're fighting and then you just remember how ugly your wife is. And
It
it's like,
seems that way, yeah. Like hot, shrewish wife. Oh, she yells at you, so you lose command in your men. Very bizarre. Number 9, I'm going to say, is Path of Exile. I don't know if you guys have taken a chance to play it yet. It's a kind of a recent game. Free RPG in the style of Diablo 2. It's basically the game Diablo 2. But it introduces cool little socket gem system, which I think is pretty. I don't know if any other games come up with it. I'm sure there
Diablo
are.
2 had a socketed gem system.
For skills, though.
Ah.
You had to socket your skill gems that added effects or different abilities to it. It split the attack. It did all kinds of different things, added types of damage, and you can customize skills to use massive amounts of mana and just be game-breaking. And that's what I found so fun, because it ended up being a race to find pieces of armor that would accept all these crazy skill ideas you had in your head. So it had an element of trying. It's the first time I ever went to a market in an online game. Had to start bidding wars. It was real shitty. Taylor was much better at it than I am. He's great at begging for things. I'm going to go to number 8, which is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. My favorite of this series. I think everyone remembers that incredible opening cinematic, the great voice acting of Tony Jay, and the other 2 guys whose names I don't remember right now. Semi-Shakespearean dialogue. Really fun Tomb Raider-style platformer, kind of dark, gritty. I remember my old TV when I had to plug in through the coax cable port, almost unable to see the game. Really dark in that way. And it had that cool little feature where you could shift between the spectral and material realm to try to solve puzzles. So you can move a block in one realm and use that as a stepping stone in the other realm. It's a cool game. And one of the first I remember playing a lot when I was younger. I think it came out when I was like 9 years old, 10 years old. Mountain Blade Warband. One of my favorite games ever. I remember I invested in it when the Mountain Blade came out first, just before its official release, when it was still in kind of open beta, and you can pay for a beta version of it for slightly less money. I think I bought it a week before it was officially released, and I had a lot of fun. I like that sort of first-person style combat or third-person style. The few commands you get to lead your troops, it's kind of a real-time strategy that blends with an action fighting game. It's fun. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That's probably my favorite in the Elder Scrolls series. I tried to get into Morrowind, but I think I played Oblivion first, and it kind of ruined me to it.
Oh, probably.
It's those mud crabs, man. Those mud crabs. You gotta punch 50 of them to reach level 1.
In Morrowind, I just remember not being able to hit things, and that bothered me quite a bit.
It was pretty hardcore.
Wake up, stranger. You're here.
Oblivion still had enough of the mechanics. The spell making, one of my favorite things. Horse armor, I paid for it. Although I did get the
Everybody paid for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can all complain about it, but we all wanted it in the end. It looked awesome. I think I got Shadowfax, though, so horse armor was just unnecessary.
I remember if you join the Assassin's Guild, they give you a an evil horse?
Yeah, I said Shadowfax. That's Gandalf's horse. It was Shadow something, and it was an immortal evil horse. No matter what happened, it would always come back to you.
That happened in Skyrim as well, if you did the Brotherhood.
Yep.
I like to throw my horse off cliffs and stuff.
That's sick. You are sick.
I think there's a group of people redoing Morrowind in the Skyrim engine.
Yep. Yeah.
That sounds incredible. Well, we'll all have to look forward to that because, as we know, huge modding projects like that never get released. You always hear about them, you're always really excited, and then 3 or 4 years down the line, they give up because the next titles come out.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Online, there's been a mod for multiplayer Skyrim for the past, year.
Has there?
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
Oblivion had one too, I think.
I remember they're trying to do Morrowind on the Oblivion engine, or trying to do Morrowind ported over to Oblivion, and then they gave up on that because Skyrim came out, and Skyrim was just, I guess, more fun for people.
Dragon shouts.
There was a lot of dragon shouting. It did not, however, have the demon gates you had to close, which is the worst part of Oblivion, the unnecessary demon gates everywhere. I don't know what number I'm on, but Civilization 5, I'm going to let that stand in for the Civilization series. I don't know if any of you have played Civilization, but anytime I pick it up, I can't put it down for quite a few hours.
My brother totally loves that game. I played it a little bit, but I'm not the biggest turn-based strategy guy.
I like the weird sort of real world George Washington leading the Americans and Gandhi leading India. I like the computer AI. I like trying to win the game without using a military, but then someone attacks me and I get obsessed with killing them, and then I wipe them off the face of the earth, and I just can't stop. Once you wipe someone off the face of the earth, you have to keep going. You have that army left over. You're not going to disband it. You paid a lot of money for that. You spent a lot of, I want to say action points, but I don't think that's production power. You spent a lot of production power. You missed out on a wonder or two, you're fucking pissed. You just start mowing people down, stealing their wonders. It's a fun game for that reason, and I think it's the most polished in the series, although I've heard people argue that Civilization 4 works better. I'll admit Civilization 5 did include some sort of strange one-unit, one-tile system, but it helped break up a lot of annoying giant stack fights, which would always occur in the earlier Civilization games. You just have like 20 people on one spot, and it'd be this horrible little animation going back and forth of them attacking.
I hate that Gandhi is threatening me in India. I'm kind of scared.
Gandhi's a dick. Gandhi's a pretty big dick, but not as bad as the Germans or the Huns, the Romans. Basically, everyone's a dick in that game. No one ever wants to play fun.
Queen of England's not very nice either.
Cuntish bitch.
What? But she's a queen.
Elizabeth I? No, thank you. I'm an Elizabeth II fan. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, but specifically the second one.
You like the second one?
The second one has a much better story.
HK-47 on the first one?
HK. They're in both of them. He's in both of them.
Meatbags?
You find him in like a shop at some point. You get to fix him, and he'll follow you around, saying you remind him of his old master. It had a much darker storyline, and it had something I really enjoy. I don't like Star Wars very much. I think it's kind of dumb. It's very light side, dark side. There's no sort of in between gray ground. But Knights of the Old Republic 2 had that weird neutral Jedi lady, Kreia, whatever her name was. She turned out to be evil in the end, but she kept teaching you about the consequences of your actions. Oh, you wanted to choke that guy to death? If you do that, you're a dick. You're evil. Why would you just hurt someone like that? Oh, you wanted to give him money instead? Why would you help him? Now he'll never work for himself. It was a very strange and conflicting message, but it certainly... I knew about Knights of the Old Republic 1's big plot twist, so that was kind of ruined for me in advance. And I think the second one just had a better overall story. You got to take your companions and you got to either make them Jedi into the light side or make them Sith into the dark side. That was always cool. Of course, they always got ugly if you brought them to the dark side. I never liked that. I had to make my chick wear a mask. She freaked me out.
I gotta play 2 again. There's actually a patch that came out recently that fixes the entire game.
Yeah, it's supposed
Really?
to fill in a bunch of the old missing storylines and all the pieces that are missing. I had a friend who downloaded that patch, but also downloaded a mod that added extra content based around the lore of the game, and he got them at the same time, so I could never tell while watching him play what was the stuff that, just kind of fixed the game up, and what this person who didn't seem to understand the English language very well decided to type into this new storyline. And there were like flashbacks in the middle of the game. You had to play as Revan for a little bit during the Mandalorian Wars, if anyone remembers the storyline.
Yep.
Damn Mandalorians.
Bastards, all of them. Except... what was his name? The Mandalore in the second one. He's with you.
Django.
I don't remember anybody's name in that game.
Well, the bounty hunter. You meet him in the second one. He's the only Mandalorian that I ended up liking. Carried that big gun with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Mass Effect for... I think I'm up to 3 more left. Mass Effect 1, my favorite moment in any video game, when you got to choose whether you'd come in and help out the aliens on the Citadel during the Reaper attack, or if you'd stay back. Picking to go in there with my ship, it felt real badass. Some cool dramatic music played. It's the humans, they've saved us despite how big dicks we were. You go in, you blow up some stuff. It was great. I love the choices in that game. I like the characters in that game. I haven't played the third one in the series, so I don't want to be disappointed. I've heard terrible things about it, though.
I heard terrible things, and then they fixed it, and then it was still kind of sad but better.
The thing I could tell you, Corey, and it's very terribly cliche, and I really can't believe I'm even going to say it, but it's about the journey and not the ending. So if you keep that in mind, you will enjoy 3.
Are you talking about the new ending or the original?
Yes.
Okay.
Either way, even if you are not going to enjoy the ending, it is a very, very good game.
Now tell me, is the second one really a very gung-ho shoot-everything game, or is that still an RPG?
The second one they've really made to appeal to the more of a shooter.
Okay. So what I really liked about KOTOR was the fact you had the melee and the guns, and then the first Mass Effect took out the swords, but it was still kind of like KOTOR, and I don't know how I'd feel about the second one.
You still have the melee, and you just still have the guns, but it's definitely, they were trying to appease the shooter crowd.
I have tried like 10 different times to try to get into Mass Effect. I can't do it. I
played through the first one, and I have not touched the second one.
It gets boring to me. Like I did like the first 5 missions. I got bored. I installed the game.
Podcast.
Was it Mila Kunis who did the voice actor as the girl?
No. Who? Shepard?
No, as the... In the first one, I knew you can pick one of your teammates to save, and she was one of the teammates you can save.
Yeah, Ashley.
Yeah.
Is it Mila? I don't think so, but now that you say
that didn't sound like her.
I know it has Seth Green in it.
Seth Green was Joker, the pilot.
Yes.
The cripple pilot. I think Seth Green's character in that game has the same degenerative genetic disease that my roommate has.
Which roommate?
Ben. He has osteogenesis imperfecta, if I remember.
Really? Oh.
He has. Do you remember Samuel L. Jackson's character from Unbreakable?
Yes.
I have not seen Unbreakable.
That was a good one.
I hear I had to watch it.
Yeah, he has brittle bones. Ben has brittle bones. He doesn't have it as bad as Samuel L. Jackson's character, and he hates that movie because he said no one would ever grow that tall with the disease I have.
You just like go to shake his hand, you just hear.
I'm always afraid when he tries to punch me, he's going to break his hand.
Who are you talking to, Ferrari Senpai? Who are you talking to?
I said I like that we're judging the accuracy of an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Unbreakable was one of the better M. Night Shyamalan movies.
I would agree with you, it was.
No Last Airbender.
Don't joke. I saw that movie as a fan of the show, not knowing what to do, getting 3D glasses, stoned out of my mind, thinking I'm going to enjoy a great little movie.
I saw that movie with Mike, and there were some people who were just decked out cosplaying. Like, they did a really good job, and I felt so bad for them because that movie was garbage.
We went there. It was like 11:30. We went there. Tom got a parking ticket.
It was an awful night.
The movie was bad.
Thanks, M. Night Shyamalan. You gave
Pretty
Tom a
much.
parking ticket.
We got free movie passes out of it because the person I was with got the wrong kind of soda.
I didn't.
They
So
asked
you
for- they
You
asked
guys
for
got
dining.
benefits. I got punished multiple times.
Oh, do you want a ticket? I buy you a Hobbit ticket.
Oh, boy.
Number 2 and number 1 going to be tied for my favorite games. I'm going to start with my favorite clone of Grand Theft Auto ever.
Hold on 1 second. Just because I like to pause you in your great announcement, but it was not Mila Kunis. I looked it up. It's somebody named Kimberly Brooks. You can continue.
Saints Row 2.
Oh, good choice.
I love that game. I love that game so much. I love that game because it had an insane amount of character customization. I love that game because you could customize not only the appearance, but the way they walked, the way they insulted people, the way they talked. Some of those things carried over to the third one. They cut out a lot of the customization that I enjoy, especially giving my god the ability to sashay like a woman. Because I made David Bowie. The street leader of this gang, and he was just... The cutscenes were great. The storyline was pretty good. Better than I'd ever seen in a Grand Theft Auto that I'd played up to that point. I think.
Are you implying that David Bowie's not a leader of a gang?
I think David Bowie's the leader of the Guild of Calamitous Intent, but he's not the leader of a gang.
He's the leader of the goblins in Labyrinth.
He is.
Who do?
He's also the king of Atlantis in SpongeBob SquarePantis or whatever special SpongeBob had. I have his complete work over here somewhere that lists all his appearances. But in Saints Row 2, insane amount of customization and still kind of a serious storyline, which is what
That's what I liked about Saints Row 2, because Saints Row 3 just took it and just went completely silly, and it took a ton of the charm out of 2.
You burnt you put radioactive material in someone's tattoo ink, you blocked someone's girlfriend in a trunk of a car during a monster truck rally show. You did a lot of fucked up shit in that game, and it had a lot of emotional impact. There was ethos to the characters. You felt bad for them. Saints Row 3 was just wacky. You were slapping people.
Saints Row 3, opening mission is you jumping out of an airplane while shooting, while jumping back into the airplane, jumping out of the airplane again.
Yeah, they went a little overboard. I like Saints Row 3 a lot. I miss Saints Row 2.
Have you played 4?
I haven't played 4. I want to play 4.
I haven't played 4 either.
It looks... I mean, it's not what I want for the series, but it definitely looks like I will play the shit out of it at some point. I'm definitely getting it probably when it goes on the Steam sale, which hopefully will be in a week or two.
It has to be before Christmas.
My character in 3, I made it the baddest, ugliest guy I could possibly think of. And then I gave him the zombie talk. So it's just like...
What I will say about Saints Row 2 is I know the song Misery Business by Paramore because of that game, and I enjoy it. And I'm not ashamed to admit that live on this podcast viewed by 3s at best. I will admit it to the public and to you. I love that song because it would come on the radio when I was running people over, getting out of the car, beating people with dildo bats, using the taser, really, because tasering someone in the nuts and having them just fall to the ground and then kick them a few times, and then doing karate. I love Saints Row 2. I miss it. I wish I could play it some more.
I remember Burnout Paradise, driving around town to Avril Lavigne girlfriend.
That was a great game.
Uh-huh. Hey, I could be your girlfriend.
Fantastic.
That was actually my favorite Burnout.
Paradise? Really? You didn't like 3?
I'm sorry, I was thinking Burnout 3.
Yeah, okay. Paradise is good, but it's not 3.
And, of course, my final game, my favorite game, tied with Saints Row 2, I guess, is Crusader Kings 2.
I knew you were going to say that.
I love Crusader Kings 2.
Hey, Corey.
Yeah?
What were you playing before you started this podcast with us?
I might have been playing Crusader Kings 2. A friend of mine wanted to do multiplayer, and that's what I really want to try, because the computer can get somewhat stupid at times. But with another person, I played with someone, invited them to a game, set everything up. Within the first 5 minutes, I had assassinated their character. I'd wiped their bloodline off. We had to restart. I only did it because...
Why did you do that, man?
Because he wanted Scotland for himself.
I think he was the King of Scotland. When I played with my roommate at one point...
So he was, in fact, the last King of Scotland.
Well, no, because then I became King of Scotland. Keep it straight. I got the kingdom title. That's the point. You get all the titles. Then you get the money. Then you get the power.
Are you the Jarl of Scotland?
Jarl.
Petty king, and then eventually Emperor of Britannia.
Ooh.
I played with Ben at one point. I asked to borrow his mother to tutor my kid. She ended up into my court because I had married her for some strange reason, and he had blamed me for making his character retarded. there's a mentor system where you can send your children off to different people and they can impart some of their skills. And when you do it to another player character, little pop-ups will come up and it will say things like, such and such tortured a rat today. It was the most disgusting thing you ever saw. You'll have choices like, that a girl or boy, torture more rats and it'll make them cruel, or don't ever do that again, it'll make them humble. But there's always like a backlash. There's a 50% chance they'll make them cruel, 50%
Dude, my
chance...
kid is going to be like torturing rats all day.
50% chance they could end up like retarded. Or, oh, this kid's playing up by the towers. Push him out the window. Tell him not to go up there. Don't do anything.
Are you just quoting Game of Thrones?
No, that's actually a little Easter egg in there to talk about Game of Thrones. There are a few hidden inside there.
Have you played the Westeros expansion or the unofficial mod?
I have played the mod. Unfortunately, Crusader Kings 2 updates so much that the mod becomes moot. Like, they keep adding new stuff to Crusader Kings 2, so the mod doesn't work anymore. But I hear they're going to be adding Essos in the next update to that mod, and I will be getting it. Because I'm going to play as Daenerys Stormborn.
Of course.
So I'm waiting for the Telltale Game of Thrones game.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
I'm just putting stuff on my cat's head, and she's balancing it.
All right.
Yeah.
If you see a receipt floating in midair, that's my cat.
Oh, I want to see that.
It's right there. Look at that little kitty. Okay, so we all gave our top 10s. We're all happy, the little doobies.
Yep.
Oh, man.
We need to do a top 10, like, worst games.
Oh, we can do that. I played a lot of bad games, though.
I don't know if I can name 10 worst games.
We can do a top 5, probably.
Mass
Top 5.
Effect 1, Mass Effect 2.
Whatever Corey's list was.
It's Ferrari's list? Yeah, that.
Xenosaga 1.
Ferrari's list was just RPGs. I think he thought...
For whatever reason, I was thinking we were just doing RPGs because I'm a fool.
Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13 2. Final Fantasy 13 3.
I actually did play 2.
The worst part about 2 is it was developed by Tri-Ace, and that just breaks my heart how far they've sank.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Both Game Arts and Tri-Ace just pump out games that are just not good, and it breaks my heart. I love both of those companies, but they keep disappointing me.
Yeah.
I can't really blame Game Arts. I'm just not a big fan of the old Monster Hunter kind of thing. They made Ragnarok Odyssey. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's one of those Monster Hunter clones.
Never really got into Monster Hunter.
I played it because I just like Game Arts so much, but I just can't get into those games.
I can't say the controls, to be honest.
Yeah, they're a challenge. A chore, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we should move on to
When you walk away.
You won't hear me say, please... Oh, God.
Please, oh baby.
Don't go.
Simple and clean. It's how you make me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go.
Is this the acoustic slow version at the end, or is this the poppy techno beginning version?
Plant B remix?
Too many
Come on.
things.
That's the acoustic version he's saying.
Yeah, well, I got a little teared up the first time I heard that. Oh.
I heard that song before the game. I am the hipster with bad J-pop. And by bad, I mean fantastic.
Ooh.
I think 15-year-old Corey read all that fan fiction, so bam.
Then
Obviously.
Hikaru Utada comes into Kingdom Hearts world, and her and Sora just make out.
I'm sorry, what kind of fan fiction do you think I read? Because it's not that kind.
I watched Naruto S. Sasuke fanfictions.
I legitimately tried to buy a doujinshi, and I could not find one, and it broke my heart, because I know they exist. I just couldn't find it.
We'll go to Anime Boston, man. They got all
It's for a gift, Secret Santa kind of thing, so it's a joke, but it will not be fulfilled. Okay, so you guys heard about the YouTube Content ID?
Oh, yeah. The commentators are pissed.
I've heard a lot of pissed off commentators recently. I had no idea about it, and then everyone's angry.
For those who don't know what it is YouTube has these bots that search for copyrighted content, and they hit a lot of video game related content, be it from their soundtracks or their trailer footage, and if you're monetizing the page, you will not get paid anymore. And at worst, you'll still get paid, but all the profits go to the company and not to the person who made the video.
The bots aren't distinguishing though. They're banning stuff that's already been granted permission.
Yes,
Stuff like
they
that.
added stuff like who was it? Somebody got specific permission from. I'm trying to remember who it was, but they said yes, you can totally use our content. Go ahead, and then they ended up blocking that. I know Angry Joe was one of them who's really
Angry
mad
Joe
about it.
did an interview with the creators of Tomb Raider,
Yes.
and in the Tomb Raider thing, they showed like a 3-second clip of the game, and because it showed that 3-second clip, even though it was with the creators of the game, it's claimed as copyright material. Even Christmas music, which is like general use, can be flagged as registered Christmas music.
I mean, Christmas music, there's a lot of registered Christmas music people don't know about. Everyone owns copyrights to most songs. People love money. People get money however they can.
There's public domain on things like the older stuff, like from the 30s and things, but I don't know. I think Paul McCartney still owns the rights to his stuff.
Damn him.
For now.
Yeah, I was going to do this little video series. I'm still going to do it, obviously. It's going to be my next project, but I don't think I can monetize it. I don't know if you guys know what I'm doing, but I'm going to take all the NES games individually by their release dates and make like a little 5-minute summary of what they are. So it's like if you're at a thrift store and like, hey, what's Contra all about? You pull out one of my videos and I'll have like a 5-minute video of separate gameplay footage and like a little information about it. But I don't think they'll hit things from NES era, but I don't think I can monetize it anyway.
Tom, I like your idea. I don't like the example where I'm going to shop for video games, I see one, and instead of going for a quick Wikipedia link or any game review site, I go to this web page to watch a 5-minute video while I'm in the store deciding if I should buy it or not.
Well, I'm sorry, Corey. I don't know a proper example, but I'm going to do it nonetheless, and I wish you took
I think it's cool.
in my dreams, in my whatever I'm doing. I make podcasts, I make videos of things you don't really need, but you'll appreciate anyway.
I have a really specific example about how this new horrible YouTube Nazi-esque content thing going down is affecting some of my viewing habits. I watch one particular commentator who plays the Total War series, and he does a bit of a playthrough of Medieval 2 Total War modification that does the Third Age Lord of the Rings. And he has no idea what he's going to be able to do with that, because apparently he's pretty big. He makes some amount of money off of it, his channel. But this mod uses a lot of like copyrighted images and the copyrighted music from the Lord of the Rings music. And he has carte blanche from the people who made the Total War series. But you have like songs from the Lord of the Rings. You have pictures of the different characters. Aragorn comes up as the leader of a battalion of soldiers, and he's had to basically strip down a bunch of that stuff to prevent his channel from being locked up.
Yeah, it's pretty much a gamble now because you can't put a lot of work into a video and then submit it, and just have it ended up being copywritten, infringed, so it just ruins their whole 2 days or whatever long they worked in the video and not get paid for it, so it's pretty much working for free.
Yeah, because I'm a plebe, I follow the Call of Duty commentators, and they're all up in arms. Like, some of them, like, that's their job. Some of them, like, that's my main source of income right now. And the other half don't give a fuck.
I don't know how I feel about that being the main source of income. Like, I know it's a job, I understand that, but when you quit your job to go into commentating for video games, you know there's a risk involved. Like, you know you don't own this content.
Yeah, there's
How
people
much
that, like,
money
drop out of
did they
college.
make?
They make enough. It's their full-time job.
Yeah, they get partnered. So they get ads. So they might get money per ads per view.
Every time you watch a YouTube video, and it has those little yellow dashes and the...
I have ad block that's really good. I've never seen those yellow dashes come up.
So these
You're
people
stealing from Google, man.
Some of these people get like close to 100,000 views, and then they get like X amount of money per view. And they get a percentage of that.
Yeah, I hear people who make. I know commentators on YouTube. I don't know specifically about game ones, but the really big ones can make 200 grand a year, and that seems insane to me. I
That's a
guess
lot of
Call of
money.
Duty must be popular enough to commentate.
Yeah,
that
there's like a bunch of big ones, and I follow them all.
Mm.
But a lot of them have jobs, so it's like
Yeah.
Well, the advice of the Unpopular Podcast is to please don't quit your job. YouTube is not the stablest form of money.
Exactly. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
YouTube money, make it rain.
And I think we can all agree that we hate you because you're doing something that we would love to make money off of, and that's talking about a video game.
What do you mean
Oh,
I'm
man,
not getting paid
I
for
wish.
this video?
Tom, when are you going to start paying us for this?
When I get paid. So count on never. I wish. All right, you guys done with the YouTube? Are we good with this subject?
YouTubes.
Yep.
The tools, man. Everybody's saying they're gonna switch to Daily Motion and such, so these people have a big opportunity to overtake YouTube. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but
It's going to eat Daily Motion. No one likes
Well, the next couple of months, it's all you're going to see is music videos and
Pretty
stupid
much.
cat videos.
I actually own the right to cats on the internet, so you can't use cats
Oh, okay.
without paying me, of course. I need royalties.
I use dogs.
I'd be making a lot more money than you, my friend.
No, I think Jenna Marbles has that market cornered with dog videos.
I don't know who that is, but I'll take your word for it.
She's got like 80 bajillion subscribers on YouTube.
Okay.
She's from Boston.
Boston, dude. Shit.
She went to Boston University, I think.
Oh, man, that's fucking retarded. Oh, God, I hate
I
living.
love you, Jenna.
Okay. What have you guys been playing?
Last week. Although I did pick up Rune Factory 4 yesterday.
Oh, tell me how it is. I was contemplating picking that up, but I decided against it. I got Etrian Odyssey, Untold Story.
I played a little bit of Etrian Odyssey. I just didn't like it too much because it was more of just a complete roguelike with no real story to it.
Oh yeah, it's a dungeon crawl.
Which is fine, but wasn't really what I was looking for. And I guess the whole main thing of Rune Factory is it's Harvest Moon with swords and randomly generated dungeons. But
Yeah.
this one is supposedly getting a lot better reviews. The fact that it's got higher emphasis on the combat and has like a legitimate storyline throughout.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I'm familiar with the last few. I played the first two, and I played a little bit of the PS3 version, but I have not touched 4 yet.
I've only got about an hour or two in, so I'm still learning. It's kind of, the game bringing you through the core mechanics of, fighting, and equipping, and harvesting, and such. So far, it's fun. It looks really good. I like the character design. I like the level design. So I will let you know how it is.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
I've been playing Ghosts and GTA 5.
Online, I assume.
Ghosts Online. GTA 5, I'm playing the single player.
Okay.
Beginning of the single player, it's like I'm playing in San Andreas again.
And that was the fun one.
Yeah.
It's no Vice City, but it was definitely a good game.
I'm driving it down. I got a dog for some reason. I got a dog.
Oh man, I can't wait till they make I hope 6 is based on Miami again. That'd be fantastic.
Me and Ferrari Senpai, can we go steal cars together?
Yeah, it's a headset.
I got a headset.
A better one. And then we'll play.
I've been playing Ghost as well, but single player.
Single player.
I'm not a big.
introvert. You're a huge introvert. We've all
I
said it.
am. I'll play Counter-Strike, but I'm not a big social guy.
I'm just going to camp here.
You guys go first.
Tom, don't feel bad. All are all single player as well.
GTA Online is you just walk around the street, just hanging out, and then 5-year-old Joe Smo will come up and run you over. It's like,
Is it
you
only
died.
Is it like, do they do an instance for 4 people, or can more play?
Oh no, it's like 50 people,
Oh,
or it's
it
like
is.
it's almost like a room. So there's like 40 people in one room, but they're all in different parts of the map. So
Okay.
you'll see a little on your GPS. You'll see a little white dots moving around. That's the live players.
Okay, so it's not like persistent online.
Yeah.
It's like they'll just pick 40 people and toss them all in an instance.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So I saw this one guy who's running from the cops, and I purposely parked in front of him, and then shot him, and then drove away. I'm a vigilante. I am the night.
How about you, Mr. Corey?
Well, I've already been playing Crusader Kings 2 lately, because I'm always
Always.
playing that.
We played Crusader King 3. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, look at you. I've also been trying to get into Legend of Grimrock, which I tried playing in the past and didn't enjoy very much.
that's a game where it's like a dungeon crawler where you make traps.
You can make traps, you can find shoes occasionally on the people you slay. You kind of traverse in like 4 directions, some puzzles pop up. It's not the most fun game in the world, sure. Taylor recommended it to me, and I curse him for it.
Sounds a little bit like Kagero.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking when I saw the trailer. Just looked like a lesser version of it.
It's an old... I think it's a roguelike, but it might just be preset what happens during it.
I don't know. Is that it for you?
I mean, besides that, I'm trying to get some ROMs to work on my phone that I've already legally bought, in case anyone's listening, but that I haven't already. I don't know. It's been difficult trying to get them to work on this thing.
What phone do you have, and what emulator are you trying to run?
I've tried quite a few, and none of them seem to work well. I think I need to not use the factory standard operating system that Android has given me on this Samsung Galaxy something or other. I'm not really sure what phone that.
It's not turn to chime in. Running stock, Philistine.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I run stock. It's how I roll.
Both my brother and Taylor upgraded to the newest firmware that was released by Samsung for the S3, and they both hate it with a passion. And
Yep.
if they just flash their phone, they get 4.4, very stable ROM, have all the features, and not
It's awesome.
not TouchWiz, because that's awful. First thing I did when I got my Note was
Word it.
get going, bro.
Actually, speaking of Android, I don't know if you know this, Tom. The Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions.
Yeah.
They released for iPad. Apparently, they're releasing it for Android tablets. It's already out in Japan.
I don't need to play that game again.
Yeah, you do.
No. I'm not a big fan of Fantasy Tactics. It's a great game for what it is. I'm just not into that kind of tactics. If I play a Japanese tactics game, I'm going to play Fire Emblem.
Dude, my haunted PS3 just turned on. I gotta turn off auto updates.
Must be another update, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that it for you, Corey? Or should I help you with your emulation problem? I'll help you with that later.
Yeah, let's not do that during the live podcast, but at some point in the future, your help would be great.
Yes, I can help you with that.
I just downloaded Arkham Origins first DLC, but I
How
haven't
was that?
played it. I haven't played it yet.
Is that game worth getting, or is it exactly
No, I got talked into buying the season pass too.
the same? Just wait until it's on Steam sale.
I just bought the Vita version because I heard it was very, very good minus a terrible mini map. I have not played it yet, but that'll probably be the next thing I play. So I'm looking forward to playing that. I've also
The story mode is like 5 minutes long. That's what it seems.
Yeah, I heard it legitimately only 5 or 6 hours.
in Origins or Origins Blackgate.
Origins.
Oh, I don't care about Origins. I'm just not into that.
Uh,
I heard the Vita game is very Metroid-like, so I got kind of excited. Because Batman has gadgets, so it makes sense. It seems it'll work fine.
I want another 2D Metroid.
Oh, with me, you, me both, my friend. I also picked up Killzone Mercenaries, which is by far way better than the PS4 game.
Which one is it? Is that
Why Shadowfall's bad?
Shadowfall is just... Taylor and I talked about it. It's a lot of like kind of a little. You run for a while and you fight a group of people and you have to backtrack all the way over here and you fight a few more people. It has this little, I don't know, little system where you use this little robot you have and you have to make him go do things. It just seems like an extra step between just killing more dudes because that's what Killzone is. And the Mercenaries is it's you kill guys. Like, you're a mercenary and you get every time you kill somebody. It's kind of like Bulletstorm, where if you kill them in a certain way, you get more money, and compared to other ways, you go to little booths and you can upgrade all your equipment because you can't pick up people's guns. You have to have your own, and you upgrade that, and you can buy new ones and such, and you equip yourself with armor and with such. Really fun.
Do you remember the PSP version of that?
Killzone Liberation?
Yeah.
Yeah, the isometric strategy game. It was actually a really fun game.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the first one?
Killzone? No.
Yeah.
The first Killzone game I played was Liberation.
Killzone 1, the online was, because it's PS2 online, so it's like, so the only way I could manage to get a kill because I was so bad was just cook my grenade and run into crowds. Like,
Jihad Joe over here.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kill you over there.
Oh, wow.
What else have I been playing? SteamWorld Dig, I talked about that last week. And what else have I been doing? I think that's it.
Didn't you get Battlefield for PS4? Have you played that yet?
I swapped it out for Need for Speed, which I'm probably going to swap back out for another game because I have not opened it yet, but I don't know.
I'm probably going to get a PS4 next month.
PS Quad? The quad damage?
The quad damage, man.
You moving up to the quad.
I might have some quad damage.
Yeah, you keep waiting for that, Ferrari. It's going to happen sometime.
Yeah, I know.
PC Master Race.
Then me and Tom will be in the PS4 future, and Ferrari Senpai will be left behind.
He'll come up with an Xbox One and want to join our fun.
Oh.
Like, come on, Ferrari, grow up.
I still feel like I got a gaming PC, Tom.
I know. I'm just saying, if you're waiting for Watch Dogs for the PS4, then you're waiting for the wrong game.
I'm saying that I have absolutely no interest in the system, and that is the only thing that would even slightly pique it.
It's not made for us. I'm definitely a Japanese player.
Is that coming out for PC?
What's that?
Watch Dogs.
Absolutely.
Oh, well,
It's Ubisoft. They release the games for everything.
Yeah, that's true. The game ends and you just crawl out of the animus.
Okay, I think that wraps it up for this week.
All right.
Any final comments, guys?
Whoa, we didn't have any sound effects. No talks about certain movies that should not be mentioned.
Yeah, because Taylor wasn't rolling around in his chair being a smug ass in his bathrobe.
No sound effects?
Taylor better be here next week or I will break his legs.
We could have a Disney sing-along. Does everyone want a Disney sing-along?
Oh, man.
Part of that world. Oh no, this is copyright
Other people
material.
are. I don't think our vocals hit that note, my friend.
Well, it's not really a sing-along if none of us sing the same song at the same time.
Well, we all have to sing different songs just to mess everything
I
up.
want to be where the people are. Ask them the questions and get some answers.
Mike's is the best. It's incredible.
Hell?
It's like Susan Boyle. You don't think he could sing, but then he does.
Then he just lets it loose and everybody's stunned.
Part of that world.
Be prepared. Oh, wrong movie.
Be prepared for the sense of a lifetime.
I would bust out some Frozen songs, and I already forgot all the songs. I can't think of any.
Let
Hey,
it go, let it go.
Right.
Let it go.
I'll make a man out of you. That's a song that I wish I
Okay. I think we're done for the night.
To defeat the
Huns.
Oh man. Just for future advice, if you're taking a girl on a date or whatever your preference may be,
Don't sing.
do not put on Mulan because that movie will just turn them off. It's happened to me twice.
Well, I mean, what kind of dating situation was this?
Watching movies on the couch. I know one girl in specific. I watched 3 Disney movies. The middle was Mulan. The first one was... Oh, what was the first one? I think it was Little Mermaid. And, we're together. Put on Mulan. She goes on the other side of the couch. I'm like, okay. And then the third movie, things got better. I'm not going to go into detail.
Don't find a random person with your friend there, and then watch Zach and Miri watch a porno while one of them sleeps.
Oh, man.
Doesn't work out.
That's how you get the British chicks. These are all inside jokes nobody gets.
Were you trying to sleep
She's gonna
with a
hear
woman
this, we'll
by
see,
watching
yeah.
Disney movies? Was that going to put her in the mood, watching The Little Mermaid?
I didn't say anything about sleeping with. I'm
That's
just
the
trying
ultimate goal.
I'll try to get in the cuddle zone.
The cuddle zone.
That's where every
That
man.
night I had a bunny. That bunny was cuddling me. So I need.
Professor Bun Bun is a lovely little animal.
Bun Bun loves me.
I don't know if you guys met my rabbit, but he's Professor Bunningsworth III.
You have a rabbit?
I have a
things
rabbit.
Are very terrible smelling creatures.
He's cool. He has this little house. Okay, but this is ending. This is done. I'll probably edit all this out anyway. All right. So I guess I'll sign off. Thank you for joining us this week on the UnPopular PodCast. You guys are talking over my outro. How dare you? Okay, I'm gonna do it again.
Try it again.
Okay. Thank you for joining us this week on the UnPopular PodCast. My name is Thomas.
I'm Chris.
I'm Corey.
I'm Mike.
That
it will
took
be
too
better
long.
next week. It will be better next week.
Join us next week for a much better episode. And good night.